Hello, my stitching lovelies. This is Danielle, aka Stitcherista. I am back again a day later with another video. I've had a couple people ask me about my finishes and they want to see them up close. So I thought I would do a video today just showing my finishes, and I have like 40 to show. So sit back with a cup of coffee or your stitching and enjoy. This one is the Mirabilia Mediterranean Mermaid, I think. Cannot remember. But I got this framed at my LNS, the stitching post, and it has a suede mat. And I can't remember the fabric, but I'll get a little closer. I'm holding the camera, so I'm trying not to. But isn't she just so pretty? I love the blue in her hair. Beads. Tons of beads, people. So I'm going to try to pan up slowly because there's another one up here. This was one of my favorite ones, and actually one that I stitched twice. This is Emerald Mermaid. And I got this framed at my stitching post also. At my stitching post, yeah. At my LNS, the stitching post. This is on, I think, Joblin Summer Sky. I just really loved her bodice, and I love stitching. I did this one pretty quick. This was the first one I stitched for my husband. And when he saw the other ones, he wanted them all. Okay. Now I'm going to pan back because this is the rest of my dining room, and this is the wall where I have the 4 mermaids hanging. And look, you can see all the finishes I piled up, right? So get ready for that. All right, let me walk over to each one. These were all framed by Jill Rensel, the one that does the hand-painted mats. This is Queen Mermaid, I think. I don't know why I can't remember the names of these. But I'm gonna pan up to the painting on it. Isn't that so pretty? And I did some of these on Ada, believe it or not. I don't know. I really love this one. I've seen a purple conversion of this one, and it's so pretty. But yeah. Okay, the next one is Waiting for Ships. So there was the painting in the corner of that. This one again, no, I did this one on, looks like Lugana. I need to take better notes, people. But I really love the stars, the gems, the treasures. So, so pretty. And I love the frame on this one. It looks like a seashell almost. The next one, the Mermaid of the Pearls, I think. There's the painted mat. And I love that frame too. Beads. You want to talk about beads. This one had some damn beads. The most beads I've ever done on a project. And I did this one on Ada too. And as you can see, I don't frame any of my pieces. This one's really dusty. I don't frame any of my pieces with glass. It's just my preference. As I'm getting cobwebs off my wall. I don't like it. I like to see the piece. This one is the Shimmering Mermaid. I love purple. Purple's my favorite color. So there's the painted. Did this one on Ada too. You can see just, of course, anyone who's stitched a Mirabilia knows about the beads. I liked her face in this one. I loved these. And my husband was for 4 years in a row, I gave them to him as a Christmas gift. So he was just so surprised because he didn't even know I was stitching them or any of that. I kept it secret, so. Hello again, my stitching lovelies. As you can see, the very beginning of my video, I had to cut the mermaid portion and just start again because I could not flip the camera around to my face, or I couldn't figure out how to do it. And I didn't want to reshoot that with the mermaids. So that's why the little break in there. So I'm going to show you the rest of my finishes that I have here piled on my table. And I'll just hold them up to the camera and talk about them. So this first one is Needle Delights Originals, one of her Color Delights, Sea Foam. This was a pretty quick stitch because it's only 4x4. But I really liked doing counted canvas. I have a couple of those to show you. So I really enjoyed that one. And I had this framed in my LNS, the stitching post. The next one is a Lizzy Kate. And I did this one a long time ago, like back in 919, probably 2002. I had stitched this for my stepfather's mother. It was her birthday. She had turned like 80 or something. And so this was my first time doing 1/1. If you see the name right here and the date is stitched 1/1. And I think this is Joblin, the pink Joblin. I forget what that color was called. But I really love this frame. This frame reminds me of cake icing. And when she passed away a couple years ago, I asked for it back and they had no problem giving that back to me. I really wanted that back. Now this one I loved too. This is a Little House Needleworks Strawberry House, and this is done on autumn oak crossed wing linen. I have a piece of this coming, so I hope it looks like that. I love this linen. The colors were so pretty, and it's a really good neutral fabric. I really like this one. And the frame I like, plain, you know, easy. Yeah, love that one. This next one is one of my favorite. They're all my favorite. I say everyone's my favorite. This is another Little House Needleworks, Miss Peepers. I really enjoyed stitching this one. Now, I did this 1/2 on 35 count linen. This is Weeks Dye Works linen. I'm going to try to pan in so you can see how tiny the stitches are. I really like this. I forget the color of the linen though, but isn't that frame cool? I really like that frame. Yeah, I love stitching that one. Okay, let me move some of these. Excuse me for 1 second. Get my next pile of goodies. Yeah, and by the way, this video is from a girl, Tipsy Stitcher. She wanted to see my finishes, so it's for everyone else who asked to, but especially for her. This is a Halloween ornament I did a couple years ago. Britter Cup Designs. I love their designs, and this is the only one I've ever stitched. I really liked it, and I had it finished by that same Deb woman. I'm so sorry I can't remember her name. Isn't that cool fabric on the back? So yeah, I leave that hanging on my wall because, like I said, all my shit's up there all the time. Now, these next two, I actually did myself, like the finishing, and I don't know why I didn't keep going, but this is a Books design. I think this is the Baking Angel, and it's stitched on perforated paper. I loved doing these. And if you can see, this is a canvas I got at Michael's, and I used Mod Podge, I think it's called, and I put the scrapbook paper on it. This is scrapbook paper. And I just used glue dots to put her on it. I really enjoy doing these. And I have one more like that. So I did that one. And then this is the Peppermint Fairy or Angel. Same thing. I did the scrapbooking paper. And on this one, I painted the edges silver. Just a regular acrylic paint. But didn't they turn out really good? I loved stitching on paper. And they have some beautiful, beautiful ones. I just haven't done anymore because there's so much to do. Now this one's an old one. And up until recently, this was hanging in my kitchen. And I just decided to take it down. And this is a design from the, I think it's Just Cross Stitch. I did this one like 8 years ago. Love coffee, so I wanted to do that. And I had Vanna, the Twisted Stitcher. She's the one that finished this, and she does such a great job. She just did that little, that's from being in the kitchen. It's oil spot, damn it. Yeah, wall hanging. Really love that one. Love them all. Okay. I'm brushing dust off these people. These are hanging high up on the wall, and I'm not dusting this. No. This is another Little House Needleworks. As you can see, a trend here. I love her designs, and I've stitched so many. Simple Joys. I actually had done this like 7 or 8 years ago as a stitch along with someone. I think her name was Sadie. And I had such a good time, but I remember this hill, I still don't like love it. I think I stitched it twice and tore it out because sometimes the hand-dyed threads can be really wonky. And what I've started to do with hand-dyed threads now, believe it or not, is instead of putting 2 strands together and stitching like that, I'll actually do the loop method. So it's not as variegated. And I kind of like that. Like I'm finding I like that. And here's another Little House Needleworks, Stars and Stripes. I love this frame. It's like a tealy, bluey. I did this 4th of July like 7 or 8 years ago. That was pretty quick. That went quick. And here's another Little House Needleworks. Prairie Sampler. This is a crossed wing linen. I can't remember the name. Like a green one. I really like stitching this one. I love the little bunny. I'm obsessed with rabbits, although I don't have one. I would love to have one as a pet, but my dog would tear it up, so can't have that. But really like this one. And all of these, unless I say otherwise, were framed at the Stitching Post. They do such a great job there. Now this next one was framed by Jill Rensel. No painted mats on it, you'll see. This is another Little House Needleworks. I'm gonna try to like, isn't that frame cool? This is the Virtue Sampler, I think. And I'm on my, you notice no creaking in my chair. I'm on my wheelie office chair. So you can see, I really like stitching this one. The strawberries and all these Virtues. Yeah, I need to, you know, take a note there. But love stitching that one. Now, the next one is my first ever needlepoint piece I did. And it was out of the Needlepoint Now magazine. So this was a hand-painted canvas that I bought. And I actually entered this in Woodlawn, but it didn't win anything. So this is a suede mat. I'm going to get closer so you can see. This is solidly stitched. This took me a good 3 months. I followed most of the stitches in the stitch guide, but the background I did myself. I looked online, picked a stitch. Really like that, but boy did that get tedious doing that background, and I waited till last to do it. But one thing I did do was the flower, the center is beaded, all beads, and then around the leaves it's all beads. I'm trying to get in close so you can see. They didn't do it that way in the original piece. And I did the memory thread around the outside of the vase, if you can see that. Yeah, I really love this, except, wow, you want to talk about expensive. Needlepoint hand-painted canvases, mucho expensive. The canvas itself was just $140. So by the time I did the canvas and the framing, which was like another $160, and the threads, I probably spent almost $400 just on that one. So that's the only hand-painted canvas that I've done. All right, got to move some stuff around here so I can get to my next pile. Here's a little pile, as you see my face up close and personal. Another Little House Needleworks. This is going to go much faster than I thought. Okay. Another Little House Needleworks. This was, I don't remember the name, Birdhouse Sampler, Bird something. It came with the thread. I don't know what thread, green, I don't remember. I really like this one. It was nice to stitch in one color. And just a plain, I want to say this is like a, I think this is a 35 count linen or a 40 count. It's tiny. But look at that frame. I absolutely fell in love with that frame when I saw it. And when I got it back, I was like, oh, yeah, love that one. Love it. Okay. Now the next 3 are a set. I can't hold them up all at the same time, but it was a Lizzy Kate. I forget what it's called. Again, I don't remember all the names of these. Oh, Eek Boo Hiss. Duh, as you see on the thing. So I stitched this on the recommended linen, which I think was Weeks Dye Works Chestnut. Tough to stitch on this dark linen. I had a good light, my stitching light. But I matched the frame, and the frames, as you see in the other two, they're all the same kind by the same manufacturer. So I matched the frame to the word. So there's Eek. Don't you love those googly eyes? I love Lizzy Kate. Hence why I'm starting the spook sampler as soon as I get that damn fabric in the mail, which I hope might be today, but definitely tomorrow. This is Boo. Love that. I love the witch's face. I love this one. So orange for the Boo. My Boo right now. I have not had enough coffee today, people. And finally in the set is Hiss. Love that cat and the purple house and his eyes. And so match the green to that green. They were so cool. But yeah, if you notice, if you look at the video with my wall, I had them all hanging in a row. And then here's another Little House Needleworks. I was on a kick for a while there, man. The Simplicity sampler, I think. This is on Confederate gray linen. And it's 35 count, I think. So I did it 1/2. It's either 35 count or 40 count. I just love the teals in it. I really enjoyed stitching this one. I love that frame too. Okay. Now I have to get up and walk around because my next finishes are my big ones, my Mirabilias that I have, and a big Lizzy Kate that I did. So talk amongst yourselves for like 10 seconds while I get up and move around to the other side. Oh, wait till you see these. So I left the best till last, obviously. And now I gotta go back and hang up all this crap back in my office. But what I do for my people. Okay. When Lizzy Kate had her Christmas rules out, I decided to do them. And I framed this myself. I'm wiping horrible dust off the frame. I framed this myself. I'm gonna try to pan back so you can see it. And you can see, this is why I don't frame my own pieces. I didn't leave, I'm gonna move the camera a little closer. I did not leave enough to really frame it properly. I bought this frame from American Frame, who has really great frames. But let me I really loved stitching this one. Her stuff is so cool. But this is a really long piece and I just did not want to pay to have it framed. But I didn't do too bad for doing it myself. But like I said, man, I was right up against it with the margins for making sure I didn't cut off any of the stitching. But yeah, I mean, I thought I did pretty good. I mean, look at the back, I did that. Yeah, not bad. Okay, my last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces are some needlepoint pieces and my Mirabilias. This first one I did, I don't know what order it was. What am I saying? Okay, picking tape off the back of that. What the hell? Now it's stuck on my finger. Real life, people. Real life problems in here. Okay, this is the Sweet Pea Pixie. Oh my God, I love this one. I love them all, like I said. This is crossed wing linen. I think it's called Lily Pond. I'm gonna get closer so you can see. Isn't she so pretty? If you notice, I didn't stitch her wings. I don't know why. I guess I didn't like them. But I just loved everything about this one. And that's a pink suede mat and then purple on the inside. This one turned out really good. I'm going to enter this one next year, I think, at Woodlawn. I've never entered that in, so I'm going to do that. Maybe I'll win something. Okay. Precariously. Now, this next one is probably the most favorite pixie I've stitched, and I just stitched it last year and just got it back like this February. Jill Rensel framed this one. The Wisteria Pixie. You know my love of purple. Love purple. It is my favorite color. This one I fell in love with when it was released. Now, I do wish I would have stitched it on a hand-dyed fabric. Make it up closer to the painting in the corner. This is a purple suede mat. Then they did some another purple mat. But I did the face. She had no face, like a side eyelash or something. I made up the face. I stitched this one really fast. I stitched it in like a month and a half, which was like lightning fast for me. But look at all those beads and stuff. I loved this one. Her wings, all of it. Yeah. So I am definitely going to enter this one into Woodlawn this year. Next year when they have the show, because I didn't have it back in time to do it. Now, this is also one of my favorite ones that I've stitched. This is the Summer Love Fairy. Jill Rensel also framed this one. Now this one I won second place ribbon at the Woodlawn Needlework exhibit 2 years ago. Let me pan up. I'll show you the corner, the paints, the painted mats. But look, beads, again, beads. My favorite part of this, her face. Now, I can credit myself with the face. Melanie Rowe, I think is her name. She stitches a lot of Mirabilias. She is the Melanie the Whip Slayer, her blog. She doesn't do videos. She had done this same face on her Summer Love Fairy, and I begged her for the chart. So she emailed me the chart, and that's how I redid the face. That face was beautiful. I just loved that one too. Oh, that was on, I'm sorry, I'm not even telling you the fabric. That was stitched on Summer Sky Joblin, and the Wisteria Fairy was just a plain like cream Lugana, I think. Okay, my next piece is a counted canvas piece from Nancy's Needle. I think it's called Snow Crystal Tree. My LNS framed this one, and I entered this in the show too, but I didn't win anything. I just really loved, look at that background. I really love, that was watercolors, and they have beads and stuff in this one. These go surprisingly quick, and they're not as complicated to stitch as you think. She gives really great instructions in her patterns. Yeah, but that, see the, right here, this? What a pain in my ain, that thread. It was like a gold rush or something. No. Now, this next piece is called, I don't remember the designer. Shocker. I think it's called ABC Christmas. Jill Rensel framed this one. This piece was a kit that I bought that someone had started when I went to a retreat a couple years ago. They were doing a charity for someone that passed away, and they were selling all her kits that she had partially stitched or whatever. And I fell in love with this one. She had only stitched the letters ABC, and this is a Threadworks green thread. I don't remember the kind. But yeah, she had only stitched ABC, and I don't know if you can tell, but this is a sparkly, I think it's raw opalescent linen. So I stitched the rest of it, and I made up the year. I didn't make it up, obviously, but I stitched it in 2013. But I went online and found numbers because I wanted to put the date, because I forget the date they had was not, it was like really old. And in the middle, I don't think they had beads in the middle for the ornament, so I did that too. I really enjoyed stitching this one. But yeah, the pattern, you can't get it. I don't remember someone, because what's funny is the judge at Woodlawn emailed me and said, what's the name of that pattern? And I couldn't tell her the designer. I knew it was discontinued. I don't remember. 2 more people, that's it. This is another counted canvas piece. This is Needle Delights Originals. I think this is the Aquamarine. It's one of her gemstones. I cannot believe I can't remember like none of this. But the frame was cool, and I really, all the different stitches in this was a lot of fun to do. Again, she's another one that has really, really detailed instructions, so don't be intimidated if you ever want to try one of these. They're really easy to follow. And all the different threads you get to use, a lot of different threads. My last finish, for now, I don't have anything else finished, is Nora Corbett's, and I'm sorry, the Pixies were Nora Corbett, not Mirabilia. Nora Corbett's Holly Fairy. So I did this one a couple years ago. I had this framed by the Stitching Post, and this is a crossed wing linen also. I think it's called Old Rose, I think. But yeah, I really just love the Pixies. They go quicker than the big Mirabilias. But what bothers me, the faces. They don't have faces most of the time. So I try to make my own or stitch the ones that just have like a side, so you just see the eyelash or whatever. So that is it for my finishes. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of them, and maybe it'll inspire you to stitch one of them for yourself. I am really hoping that the linen comes in today for Spooked, but if not, then it'll definitely be here tomorrow. So stay tuned next week for my update, and I hope you all have a good stitchy week. Bye! Hello again, people. I swear I'm a hot mess today. I went to put away all of my other finishes that I had framed and showed you in my last part of the video and realized I had missed showing you 8 finishes I missed. So this video is going to be in 3 parts, all just mushed together. Yeah, so let me show you those 8 and then that will be it, I swear. Another Little House Needleworks. This is one of her sheep ones. Again, I had the best intentions of doing all 12. It didn't happen. So this was Hope. I really like this frame. This next one is one of my absolute favorite ones I ever did of hers. I forget the name of it though. I want to say it's like vanilla and chocolate, but I don't think it's that. I don't remember, but don't you just love that frame? I mean, yeah, this was my absolute one of my favorite ones. This was done with the recommended threads, which was only like 3 colors. And this is the one, I think it's Cocoa Weeks Dye Works linen. And it's 35 count linen, and I did it 1/2. I think it's 35 count. If it's not, it's 40 count. I think it's 35 count. I really love that one. This next one I did, as you can see, the date is 2010. This was, I think it's called Sew Love, as in S-E-W. I don't remember the design. I want to say it's I Designs, like the letter I. This was an electronic pattern that I got online. And I really like that, just done in 1 color thread. I want to say it's a DMC, the color variations, the red one, but I don't remember offhand. This is another Little House Needleworks, Bluebird sampler, I think. Pretty simple, just 3 colors. And a little funny story about this, when I had missed like a couple stitches of the white. And I was at Michael's to get some. And I realized, well, when I was in the car driving to get this framed, let me backtrack. When I was driving the car to get this framed, I was stopped at a red light and I happened to look and I'm like, I missed like the bottom 3 triangles here. I'm like, what the, yeah. So I hurry up and go to Michael's, get white thread, and I finish stitching that in the car. Yeah. If I would have got that framed and saw that missing, I would have just lost my mind. This is With Thy Needle, I think. She did monthly ones, and this was the only month I stitched. And I had this finished by that same Deb person. If you see the edging, it's like loopy. This was a really cool finish. I love Halloween stuff. Fall, October. This is a Lizzy Kate. I think it's the Thanksgiving string. I really like stitching this one too. Obviously, I like stitching all my stuff. I'm gonna pan real close so you can see it. Her stuff is just, I love Lizzy Kate. Lizzy Kate is one of my biggest favorite designers. Just plain, I think the linen it called for. Pretty cool frame though. I like the long stuff. Sometimes it's nice to have different sizes. The last 2 I have to show you are Shepherd's Bush. Again, another one I love, but I don't stitch very many of them anymore. This is the Quaker Heart, I think. And I had this frame by Jill Rensel, and these were the same mats, hand painted, the same frame that she used in the model. So I'm going to get close so you can see that. And if some of you that don't stitch Shepherd's Bush, it's kits. It comes with all the silk and the fabric, so all you got to do is just get stitching. And then the last Shepherd's Bush, and the last finish, I promise, there are no more on my table, is Glad Heart, I think. And again, I just went with the same mats and the frame that was in the model. I really like stitching this one too. Some of the specialty stitches in here I had never done. Yeah, just really enjoyed that. Okay, so I promise this will be the last time you see me until next Monday. And that's the last of my finishes that I have done. So until next Monday, happy stitching, happy stashing. I will be watching all of your videos. Take care. Bye.